Hello everyone, welcome to the final part of Super Mario Advance. We're gonna fight, what's his name?
Pimple.
Wart?
Blemish.
Cyst?
Fart.
God, we're talking about characters from Battletoads at this point.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I know that it's easy to think of. Honestly, actually, I was going to say, I know it's easy to think of stuff like the AVGN as just crass humor, but I think that it's you're probably more thinking about that in terms of AVGN ripoffs a la 2011. Because like one of my favorite AVGN jokes is when he's doing Battletoads, it's like the characters' names are herpes, gonorrhea, and genital warts, and it's like, okay, that's like, it's gross, but it is actually very funny.
Generally speaking,
it's spot on.
Generally speaking, James Rolfe knows how to balance it so that it works as a cohesive video production.
Yeah,
which is what sets him apart from a lot of his imitators.
Yeah. I think he's also
Are they
good
even
about
still
not
a thing
just
anymore, though?
What was that? Sorry.
Not that I'm actively looking for them anymore, but like AVGN clones.
AVGN clones.
Their description.
They
I was gonna say they kind of died off, right?
Ago.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot more of your modern day YouTube videos are honestly more styled like you, John.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I see a lot of people who take more inspiration from you and people who made videos in a style similar to yours.
It's a lot more.
Which is funny because I started as a fucking AVGN.
I know, exactly.
It's a lot more. It's a lot more common nowadays to have calmer, more informative style videos with humor sprinkled throughout.
Yeah.
Because the loud, obnoxious type of entertainment has moved it streaming it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can see why it's more common now, because it's a lot easier to pull off without it being an embarrassing mess.
Yeah, like, honestly, it's also, I think people really value relatability in today's world. Like, Ryan does bring up a good point that there are a lot of loud, obnoxious, screamy, sweary types on Twitch, but you also get to talk to them in real time, so there's that kind of level to them, and
interactive appeal. Yeah.
And in terms of like scripted content on YouTube, people generally want to see stuff that they can more identify with. That's at least my take on this.
There are a lot of loud, screamy, like, reactive types, by which I mean, like, the emphasis is less on, like, swearing and obnoxious humor and more on just zany reactions.
Yeah.
You know, trying to make the clickbait real.
You mean those people who overreact to everything on every sort of presentation ever?
Yeah, well, because at that point they're going for a young demographic.
Yeah, you need to have the big face with the open mouth going, what?
Yeah, young demographic
That stuff isn't exactly new. Its application to gaming content is more recent, but it's basically the Jim Carrey brand of humor.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the same stuff appeals to kids no matter what time period they grow up in. You know, it's just whatever's considered crass changes. You know.
Yes.
But like, it's I don't know. It's interesting to think about, but it's definitely been. That was some bad camera placement.
Oh yeah, no, this game. I think that's something that probably would have still happened in the NES version, but you just get blindsided by it a little bit more frequently in the GBA version because you have just the smallest bit of screen crunch. It really isn't that bad, like, especially if you compare it to like Mario Deluxe. I love that version of the game. Honestly, Mario Deluxe is like a honorary Mario Advance in a lot of ways, because a lot of the stuff that would be in standard with the Mario Advance games was in Mario Deluxe, except of course for the best part of the game, original Mario Brothers, which you can play with up to 4 people on a GBA link
That's
cable.
in every Advance
And Mario and Luigi. And you can play.
Oh, that's right.
If you have Mario and Luigi, I have Mario Advance, Ryan has Mario Advance 2, and Lewis has Mario Advance 4. We can all play Mario Brothers together on our GBA link cable, which never once linked up for having 4 people playing at the same time.
That's it.
No.
Nope. Con goals.
Oh, God.
Yeah. We all need to bring a Game Boy Advance with a different Mario Advance.
With a different...
Just to play Mario Bros.
Okay, listen, if we're going through all of that trouble to get all of the... Oh, God, no. Game. Stop. Game. No.
What I can do? Mario, there's more important things right now, baby.
Yeah, but if we're doing that, we might as well do frickin' Four Swords at that point. And make the Tangle Beast on the ground with the
Tangle Beast.
Well, you need 4 GameCubes, at least 3 Game Boy players, and the link cable.
I think we are just better off using Parsec now, because we can do that now.
Yeah.
What?
Using MGBA and Parsec, it is now possible.
You can play Four Swords online now via Parsec.
Yeah, it is now a perfectly viable way of playing Four Swords now.
Oh.
Or we could do the GBA, the 3DS version that's on 3DS.
That's right. I forgot about what. I thought that was discontinued. Remember misremembering.
I think, you know what? I think it was like a special anniversary version or something like that.
Yeah.
But at least if at least one of us had it, we could record at least one version of it. And although I guess that also
I would
defeats the
love
purpose.
to do, like, at some point or another, I would love to do a Four Swords playthrough with you guys.
I remember you and Derek recorded it for a little bit at one point. I think that
was the GameCube version.
That was the GameCube version, and you had to do some sort of weird workaround in order to get it so that you could see Derek's screen on your TV.
Well, it was more like we couldn't record the GBA screen.
Yeah.
You can only see the GBA, the GameCube screen. So every time we went inside a fucking cave or a dungeon, the audience was staring at a static screen.
Yeah, but I thought that there was like some sort of like workaround you were able to do to at least temporarily get his screen up.
You have to summon the Tangle Beast you were talking about earlier.
Okay.
Like, you have to have
multiple GameCubes, multiple games running, multiple computers recording each of the GameCubes.
Yeah.
Ryan, you live a couple of miles away from Emil. Can we just borrow his Tangle Beast?
I mean, that was years ago, so he's not set up anymore.
Yeah.
Listen, this is the man who hard modded a frickin'
Wii U
to do Pikmin 3 before the Switch version. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was still in his closet ready to eat someone.
Well, no, I mean, I'm sure he has all the cables and stuff. It's just been put away and, detached and stuff.
Locked in a forbidden closet that's like wrapped in like 6 different
Listen,
chains.
I'm just saying we need to majorly disconvenience someone far more popular for us for our immediate self-gratification. Is that so wrong?
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad we all agree on this.
Okay, so...
We did it. We saved the world.
There's still 10 minutes left in this video.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Oh.
And of course, the hero at the end of the day was Toad.
Yeah, they do a count of... Oh my god, his eyes are bloody!
Yeah, that was always like that.
I never noticed. We fucking mauled the dude.
That's why he never comes back.
Yeah.
Well, no, he appears in Link's Awakening.
Back at Link's Awakening, yeah.
I only cleared one level as Luigi? Wow.
I'm helping.
So, at the end, the hero of the day was Toad.
Yeah. And Peach
Toad
also looks
beats
very
Wart.
angry in that sprite, like, due to the way... I guess that's supposed to be her eyelashes, but...
I forget the Twitter artist, but the Twitter artist takes, like, old 8-bit sprites and then just draws them like what they should look like.
Why is Mario having a dream where Toad steals all the glory?
It's a nightmare, not a dream.
Oh, God.
I cannot exist in a world where someone outdoes me in something.
Luigi,
You just wipes the sweat away with a $100 bill.
I had the worst dream. Toad, he beat up a giant frog and started laughing at me. Oh, Luigi, it was terrifying.
You really got to lay off the ketamine.
Oh, man. So I believe in the original version, they swapped Birdo and Albatross. In the...
No, Birdo was... And also they swapped it. They just got the name wrong because they called Birdo Ostro.
Oh, no, but there is a character named Ostro.
Okay, that's what I mean. It was like, I'm not sure if they like just upgraded it to like Albatross or some other shit.
No, I'm thinking
Tweeter,
of
yeah, I was
I'm
looking at
thinking
Tweeter
of
too.
two different things. Ostro's like the little like prancing like peacock kind of guy, and Albatross is the bird that flies.
Ostro is the ostrich.
Yeah. So I think Ostro and Birdo got their names swapped.
I'm sorry, but that plant is called Panzer?
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's Albatross.
Panzer.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Albatross.
Well, what was I thinking?
Oh man. Oh yeah, and we didn't go to the land of Subcon. The people are just named Subcon.
Subcon. Yeah.
Okay. You know, we went through this entire playthrough and we didn't make one tangent about how fucking weird Birdo is when you think about it.
Why?
No, we talked about Roberto.
We did
Why
talk
is
about Roberto.
Why is Birdo weird?
Well, I mean, the whole game's weird, but just like
They couldn't decide on Birdo's gender for a long period of time, and there was just
yeah, there's
lot
a
of
weird
weird
there's just a lot
connotations
of
with them.
weird and like kind of inappropriate, like very, very out of date trans stuff regarding Birdo. Like, I believe the original instruction book says something like Birdo's a man, but he thinks he's a woman, which is like very offensive when you think of when you label trans people in that way. Obviously they do a lot better about it now, but yeah.
I think they just straight up made Birdo female like after a certain point. Just
Yeah,
to
just
not deal
because,
with it.
just to not have it be like uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So anyway, here's the most important part of the whole game.
It's upside down.
Wabio.
Wario.
The most baffling
Woes.
thing, yes, they released the same version of Mario Brothers in every single fucking Mario Advance game that they did.
I'm pretty sure it's like actually in the code of pretty much every Game Boy Advance game. You'll be playing Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, and then secretly hidden in the code somewhere is a copy of Mario Bros. You can't escape it. It will always find you.
It requires so little memory. It's just like there's no point to not add it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
just
this
use it
game's
as
fun.
the jump data, but
Yeah, I mean, I've played my share of OG Mario Brothers, specifically the advanced version, because I never really got into the NES or the original arcade release.
I mean, I've never seen a Mario Brothers in an arcade. Period.
I have, but
I would say I've never seen an arcade, but I would be lying. I'm old enough to have seen arcades.
it's one of those things where when I get to the classic lineup of like old games along the line, if it's in like an actually good arcade, I'm pretty much going straight for Miss Pac-Man or Galaga.
Yeah, like you'll see in a lot of places with arcade cabinets, like even a Dave & Buster's, which is mostly just like modern day kind of arcade trash. You'll still see like the classic lineup. They'll have a Donkey Kong, they'll have a Miss Pac-Man, they'll have a Galaga, they'll have like a Centipede or whatever, but you'll never see a Mario Brothers anymore.
Yeah.
Which is just bizarre when you think about it, because this game was popular enough, I guess. Like
Well,
It wasn't Donkey Kong popular, though.
no.
It's like you need to have like a working arcade machine, and I think that means you need a more recently manufactured one. And I'm pretty sure like the only games that you'll find those for are like the ones that belong to other companies. Pac-Man, Galaga, the Atari things that they just sort of package into a low budget.
It is
arcade
weird though,
machine.
like in the topic of Mario Brothers, how you guys ever seen the Atari 2600 port of Mario Brothers?
Not
and
Mario
the commercial
Brothers.
they made for it?
I've seen the one of Donkey Kong, but not Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
the
but
the
they made a
commercial
commercial.
Oh, they made a
for Mario
commercial
Brothers,
for
and
it?
it's like-
Yeah, the first live action Luigi.
Yeah, the first it's just weird. Like it's a live action Mario Brothers commercial for an Atari system.
Wow.
Like it's not even Nintendo.
That was like before Super Mario Brothers was even a thing.
Yeah, because I think it was 83 or 84.
Yeah.
Like right as the crash was happening.
I'm surprised they waited that long, because this game came out like, what, 82? I think.
80. No, I want to say 83.
No, it was 83.
Okay, so then,
Was
yeah,
it-
it would have
yeah,
been
okay.
around the time that the crash was happening. Honestly, at that point, I'm surprised that they put the budget into making a real commercial for an Atari game, because at that time, people were trying to get out of that business as fast as possible.
Well, I mean, you make these deals before you actually go into like production or something, so it was probably like, oh, the game comes out July 1983, so we make the deals in January 1983, so
Okay, I guess that
or
makes
something
sense.
like that.
The
So it's
point
like,
is, we
already spent, yeah.
we can all blame Steven Spielberg.
It wasn't just E.T., it's just the poster boy for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like E3 was just a culmination of all the problems of what caused the crash in E3 in general, because there was
Yeah,
like
E.T.
Yeah.
You said E3.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You said it twice.
I mean, E3 is the cause
Yeah,
of
I
a lot
know.
of problems, because you have to get that E3 build out. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to sell the game, but you're too busy making the E3 build to actually make the goddamn game. I mean,
But the video game crash was specifically an America thing, right?
It was sort of. It was also a Japanese thing, more so regarding home hardware. Arcades are still very popular there.
yeah, but I mean, Atari was still the main console distributor at the time. Like, there was like a Television and ColecoVision, but none of those were anywhere close to the.
There were also all of those consoles in Europe that used video cassettes. Not video cassettes,
God.
audio cassettes for
The
game
Commodore 64.
The fact that you can run a video game on like a cassette boggles my mind. Like, I get that it should work with
It
code.
makes perfect sense, but like it's also like the most inefficient storage medium imaginable for nonlinear data. So-
Yeah, it's like it doesn't make a lot of sense to me that like because like my idea for how tape works is like the tape rolls, the machine reads the thing on the tape, and then the tape plays out what's on it. Okay, that makes sense. For anything that's supposed to be interactive or can change, tape just seems so baffling to me.
Oh, it absolutely is. The load times on those consoles are ridiculous. They basically have to play like a whole segment of the tape and load up whatever was on that segment.
Imagine preheating your video game console.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what it was doing. Like, the data's on a linear string of tape, so they have to go through that whole linear string to get
And
the
then
data off.
do they
and
like
load it onto
load
the
the whole
console.
thing onto like the RAM?
Essentially,
And
is what
when
it
you
would
get
be
to level
doing.
2, you have to. Oh god! And people thought the PlayStation had bad load times. Jesus! Imagine Symphony of the Night running on a goddamn cassette tape.
That's essentially.
I mean, that's basically the Saturn version.
Yeah, that's essentially the difference between an audio cassette tape and a CD is that you can, just have the reader go to whatever part of the disc the data is on, but not with a cassette tape. It has to go through the tape in one direction. So, yeah, it was a.
Like that at this point.
I'm just surprised that there were quite so many consoles that used cassettes for games as there were, and I'm not at all surprised that they never took off in America.